And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Cool. Hope you enjoyed that lovely Brutal OSC for a couple of minutes as we have returned with the lower semifinals. We just wrapped up the upper semis, and we have our first finalist in Clem. Clem is waiting in the in the grand finals, and we're here to determine who faces off against him. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our Danish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player from South Korea representing Streamer Zone. It is NightMare. And if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats. Coming into this, MaxPax is going to be the heavy favorite to make it to the finals. NightMare, he can pose a threat to him. Again, NightMare, his worst matchup, his weakest matchup is PvZ. But when it comes to PvT and PvP, NightMare, he can take it to any player in the world. NightMare has defeated MaxPax in the past in this matchup. Likewise, he has done the same to even Clem in the PvT matchup. But again, he has to be on point. He has to be at his best for that to occur. Otherwise, there might not be a way here to stop the fated PvT between MaxPax and Clem. May not be possible. For now, though, we do have our Probe Scout. It is going to be double gate, 2-gate opener here out of NightMare. Likewise, we do have the Gate Cyber expand from MaxPax. I mentioned this before, but MaxPax, of course, he is known for being quite greedy in this matchup. Being quite greedy, just going for a faster Nexus. And more often than not, he will force his opponent to go into a 1-base all-in. Or to respond and react in some way. As MaxPax does open up double gas, this should lead into a faster Stargate. So it goes Gate, Cyber, Stargate, then Nexus from the side of MaxPax. That is the typical MaxPax opener. There's a Stargate they did mention into Nexus. Now with this Stargate, it should be Oracle first. Followed by a Void Ray. Void Rays are ideal defensively, so it is kind of a defensive follow-up here from MaxPax to make sure he's safe against any kind of all-in. Meanwhile, from the side of NightMare, it is a double Adept opener here. Double gateway into double Adept. Stargate also on the way here for NightMare. He is aware of the Stargate opener, and oh, he's going for his own proxy. Interesting. So a Stargate opener usually is just to either gain map control or to harass across the map. This proxy pylon, though, is a peculiar one. Is he going for Phoenixes? I'm curious. Okay, you have my attention. Now, I mean, you have my attention. The depths, they do clash here in the center of the map. MaxPax will shade past. And it is going to be a proxy gateway here. So that is a 3-gate setup here from NightMare. I'm curious, is he going Phoenix? Yeah, he is. Okay, this makes the most sense. Phoenix has a lot of course, micro potential, has a lot of utility here with the main army. He can try to lift high-tech units. He can also use it to help lay siege upon the Void Ray and the Oracle. So really interesting 1-base all-in here from NightMare, as it is a 1-base all-in. And we'll see if we can piece it all together. Oracle moves out, so the Oracle will scout the proxy. MaxPax knows, and the Void Ray is already on the way. Void Ray is in production. The Phoenix will find the Oracle, though. Yeah, Oracle is going to be chased down. And the main armies do clash. NightMare poking forward. Oracle is forced to recall. Here comes the second Phoenix. Oh, does he recall? He does. He does recall in time. The Oracle gets saved. He can throw it in a stasis. Speaking of, there's a stasis trap here at the natural. And the Void Ray does pop. Void Ray has arrived. There's going to be a shield battery, soon to be an overcharge as well. So far, so good for MaxPax. Phoenix War time? No Phoenix War. Void Rays. Void Ray versus Phoenix. Now Stasis does go up. Stalker's moving forward. There's the prismatic alignment. Prismatic alignment is still active. Phoenixes, they go for the dive. One Stalker goes down. Overcharge putting in a lot of work, and the Overcharger will save the Void Ray, and MaxPax holds. He shuts down 3 of those Stalkers. That was a massive loss for NightMare, losing far too much at once. Again, he did not respect the Overcharge. He pushed into it. And with the help of the Overcharge, MaxPax he's holding. Now there's 2 Void Rays. Does have 1 Prismatic Alignment available. Once again, does focus on the Stalkers. One Void Ray falls, but NightMare does not have enough. And as the game goes on, it's getting easier, or I should say it's getting better and better for MaxPax. He's holding. He is holding. There's still a chance for NightMare. True. There is still a chance. There is no overcharge, but there's 3 shield batteries. And nothing is dying. GG gets called. MaxPax, he holds, and MaxPax takes game number 1. Whew. GG. MaxPax does take a lead in the series. Again, honestly, that one base all in from NightMare had potential. It was just really unfortunate that he committed when he did. Remember, he committed to the fight, he committed to pushing into the overcharge, and he did not kill anything. Didn't kill anything. He lost 3 Stalkers in the process, and that was game. That was game then and there. From that very moment when he committed into the overcharge, when he lost everything and we did not kill that Void Ray, that was game then and there. And with that, MaxPax, he snowballed out of control, and now we're jumping into game number 2. Jumping into game 2. Now we're going to be loading into a much more unorthodox map. We're going to be loading into Dynasty. Dynasty has potential here to for the aggressing player to actually have a different approach. We expect once again a greedy build out of MaxPax, but we could see NightMare go for the gold and try to either keep up or even surpass the greed of MaxPax. Here we go. So we are going to be settling in. And we'll see what NightMare goes for. We know what MaxPax is going to go for. Again, he's quite predictable here in PvP. It's not really about MaxPax, it's about his opponent, how they respond, how they react. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Dynasty, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, leading the series 1-0, representing Sidestorm Gaming. One more game is all he needs to make it to the Grand Finals. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Streamer Zone, down in the series. We'll see if we can bounce back here and now to force the ace match. It is NightMare. And once again, we should be seeing a gate expand here. Yeah, sorry, I should say gate Cybercore into a Stargate, into an expansion for MaxPax. Should be the direction that our Blue Protoss is headed in. Our eyes are mainly on the Red Protoss. Double gas opener. Same for MaxPax, of course. And what does NightMare go for? Okay, 2-gate opener. Is going to be a 2-gate opener. My eyes are on this probe. Does it go for a proxy robo? Does it go for a proxy Stargate? The pathing of the probe here is going around the edge of the map. Interesting. Instead of through the center. And this might be to set up a proxy location or just a scouts. We'll see. Okay, it looks like he's just going for the scouts. Dipping into the main. We can see the MaxPax even making a zealot initially. To be secure. Probe does sneak in. Meanwhile, it looks like MaxPax, he does invest into the first zealot here. Okay. So big investment early on. He does get on top of the probe. Again, this is typically something that MaxPax does avoid. He shuts down the scouting probe. There's that Stargate into expand. And this Stargate should be for an Oracle opener. Meanwhile, across the map, NightMare, double Stalker into, once again, Stargate. Okay, once again, Stargate opener here out of NightMare. Now, we saw that last game this led into a 1-base all-in. This time, there is no proxy. This time, there's no proxy, so this should just be Stargate into Phoenix into an expansion. Should be the case. And if NightMare takes the gold, I mean, that's a good way to recover and a good way to overcome the economy of MaxPax. It's a gold base over a regular base. As Adept is denied. But NightMare is keeping up. There's that first Phoenix in production. And again, with this Phoenix, the goal is to shut down their first Oracle. As I mentioned before, even though NightMare hasn't seen anything in the main, he should know that, I mean, it's MaxPax, he always opens up Oracle. It's his go-to. So Oracle opener into Void Ray. Oracle moves out. Phoenix should be ready. And again, because we are specifically on Dynasty, because of the gold base that's available, NightMare, he's happy to go for a later expansion, but to still have an even if not greater economy. Oracle forces a recall, does survive. Recall is here to the natural. And FC do shade into the main base. 2 probes going down. That should not have happened. So nice pick off here by NightMare. Yes, 2 probes. Twilight Council gets placed. MaxPax working towards, I would imagine, Blink. And NightMare is amassing more Phoenixes. He's moving out. Let's find the Stalker. But alas, there's plenty of supports. With the Void Ray and the second Stalker. As you can see here, NightMare, he wants that Void Ray, unless he doesn't quite get it. Gets a bit of hull damage dealt on the Void Ray at least, but not much more than that. As now he can commit to the Tithe. He can and he will. Ooh. There we go, takes out the Void Ray, doesn't lose a single Phoenix, and he can lift everything else. And both Stalkers at the same time, 3 probes go down to the main. Oracle goes down. NightMare defends. NightMare, he shuts down most of the army. The Oracle, the Void Ray, 2 Stalkers, and now a Zealot. So much more efficient trades here by NightMare. He has more efficient trades. He has the gold as well, so a better economy. And I mean, NightMare's not looking too bad. There is one shield battery, just the one though. Shield battery under fire. This natural base looking exposed. And now plenty of reinforcements. There's the overcharge. 1 Phoenix goes down. MaxPax holds. MaxPax, he does hold on. Does defend. Pushing back the army. Shade into the natural. MaxPax just going to commit. He's setting up a proxy gateway location to reinforce. And he's going for the gold. Making sure that this just doesn't get out of hand. Stalkers do push in. Going for the mineral line. NightMare trying to hold on. Does have a shield battery behind this. Does have an overcharge as well. He's yet to pop it. Yet to utilize it. There we go. Overcharge is used. Does have a decent concave. Takes down a Stalker. He goes to the... Oh my god, he dives in. Does dive in. NightMare, he will take the fight. Does overwhelm. More reinforcements on the way. That does cost NightMare 7 probes though. Does fall behind in the economy. NightMare trying to break out. The gold base is exposed. NightMare out of position. Probes are going to fall. Ay, ay, ay. Ugh. At the same time, it does say shade into the main base. And NightMare, he's stuck on a 1 base economy. Meanwhile, MaxPax going for a 3rd. MaxPax just stable on 3 bases, or getting up to 3 bases. NightMare having a hard time keeping up. I mean, the gold base is helping, but there's only so much it can do. NightMare just rotate. Catching out 2 Stalkers. Oh. Pushing MaxPax back. I mean, the army sizes are still quite comparable to each other, true. Army sizes are comparable. 17 Stalkers versus 17 Stalkers. NightMare working towards +1, working towards his upgrades. MaxPax still being active. As NightMare tries to go for a backstab, he does pick up some probes at the same time, losing his own. That's going to be 8 probe kills here across the map. Not bad. Let's get a 9th probe. Let's go down. MaxPax getting caught out. A brutal start here for MaxPax. Does take down most of the Phoenixes. Does come in with reinforcements coming for a surround. It does collapse here on the army. Taking a slightly better fight. Still respecting the forces here of NightMare. MaxPax does pull away. Catching out more Stalkers, knocking down the proxy gateway. I mean, NightMare, he has momentum. He does have a supply lead. I mentioned before that the Stalker count was neck and neck, but now it is in favor of NightMare. Does have additional Stalkers. MaxPax, he dives in. He gets punished for it. Stalkers are going down. MaxPax, he has to race back home. Getting into the forge, into charge, eventually charge with Archon. NightMare still committing here. Still going to be committing. There is a shield battery. There is Nova charge. He dies on the Immortal. Up! Oh, he does snipe it. One Immortal goes down. And NightMare, without that Immortal, with this overcharge that's about to run out, can NightMare overwhelm? I mean, he does have a lead. Did take it. Things were very close. Things were very tense and very neck and neck, but I mean, NightMare, he's gotten there over time. Now he's going for the 4th. Collapsing on the army. Has the concave, has the high ground. Probes aren't going down. Denying the expansion, denying the 4th. NightMare really mining. Really mining up. NightMare, he does dive in. Takes down another 2 Stalkers. Same time, MaxPax will going for some Zealot harass here across the map. Into the mineral lines. Once again, NightMare, he dives in, takes down the Immortal, and it looks like NightMare, he might just have enough to overwhelm. There's the overcharge. MaxPax, he's holding on. Snipes the Oracle. Does Kai well. Now most of those Zealots. NightMare does reinforce. His reinforcements are coming in from back at home. No Prism. NightMare still does have momentum. Take down more Stalkers, and yeah, GG gets called. It's just too much over time, and NightMare, he does do it. He brings it back, and we're going to the ace match. Whew. GG. Again, initially, MaxPax, he was doing a good job at denying mining at the gold. He was doing a lot of damage, but if you recall, eventually, we saw that NightMare, who was able to gain map control himself, who was able to force back those Stalkers, able to shut down the proxy, and then he was able to make full use of that gold. He was able to recover and then overwhelm and overcome the economy of MaxPax. GG. GG, well played. We are going all the way to game 3. as you mentioned, again, we have seen NightMare defeat MaxPax in the past, and he's one game away from doing that again. What I will say though is that last game was more of a unique game because it was on Dynasty. As I mentioned, because of the goal base on Dynasty, it is possible to recover and to catch up economically compared to a player going for a faster Nexus like MaxPax. So you do have that option, and NightMare did make it to full effect, or did use it to full effect. And now we're getting into the final game of the series. Going to be loading into Crimson Court. Let's go. Crimson Court is coming up next. A very defendable map. Very defendable on 2 and 3 bases. And we'll see if we embrace a longer game state here if our players have other plans. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have the blue Protoss player from the land of Denmark. Representing Sidestorm Gaming, it is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player from the land of South Korea. Representing Streamer Zone, it is NightMare. We go. So to embrace our PvP, and once again we should be seeing MaxPax going for a gate cyber into Stargate into expansion. And here on Crimson Court, there is no goal base to take advantage of, so we can't see NightMare try to go into the mid game in quite such a fashion. Do we go for a 1 base all in? From the side of NightMare, I'm leaning towards it. I am leaning towards it here. We'll see. Shall see. As there's that 2-gate opener. Probe scout into the main. NightMare moves out with a probe. Is this just a scout or to set up a proxy? I mean, because it's Crimson Court, there are very limited proxy locations, just because there are entire halves of the map, or thirds of the map, which are completely cut off. And it's just going to be a probe scout. Okay. Probe scout for NightMare. I'm curious, is he going to open Stargate Phoenix again? It's been his go-to so far this series, every game. Game 1 and Game 2. I mean, Game 1 wasn't all in, but still. Does he also go Stargate before Nexus? Does he go for that Phoenix? Cybercore is done. Double Stalker opener. MaxPax does open Stargate himself. Pylon on the low ground. Could be for sure. Zealot does pop out. Interesting. So MaxPax invests into the Zealot. Probe falls. Nexus on the way. And NightMare. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say he's banking up resources. He is moving out with the first 2 Stalkers. He does have a double Adept on the way behind this. And NightMare, he's expanding. Okay. We're getting into a game. Getting into a game here as the Nexus has been thrown down. So MaxPax will have a slight economic advantage over his opponent. And we'll see if NightMare can make up for that with Adept Harass. Bold move out of NightMare. Playing MaxPax's game. Again, this is something that is often not done. Most Protoss players just commit to an all-in. As MaxPax, he opens up Oracle. That is true, like he always does, but it's going to be not a Void Ray follow-up, it's going to be a Phoenix follow-up. Okay. The Phoenixes, they provide a lot of utility. They can lift. They can shut down any other airbase units. Oh. Never mind, as the Phoenix is cancelled and we're going for the Oracle. Okay, so it looks like basically what just happened here is that the Oracle threw down the Revelation and MaxPax was looking for a Stargate Phoenix opener. Because there was no Stargate, there were no Phoenixes, he goes for a second Oracle instead. What does this mean? 2 Oracles, they can one-shot probes even if they are within range of a shield battery. Even if there is overcharge support. From here we are settling in. So taking a lot of hits. Then it goes down. Still just the 2 oracles for the time being from MaxPax. Just 2. Does have units in position. 2 stalkers in the main. Shield battery as well. MaxPax does split up his army. Does get the revelation up. MaxPax just sharking around, getting eyes on the would-be third. MaxPax taking his zone, and we are entering the mid-game. Okay, so no major aggression. Not gonna lie, after I saw the initial opener of NightMare, I was leaning towards maybe like a 2-base all-in with like 6 gates, but that never happened. Good base not being taken. Across the map, MaxPax likewise building up, getting into Blink, getting to eventually +1. Forge has begun. So MaxPax, he will have that upgrade advantage. With the Forge, I mean. Forge now on the way for NightMare. Now it's on the way. Oracles are still parked outside. Stalkers are moving out. Maybe poke in. Last NightMare does have a massive Stalker advantage. 16 to 17, so he should be okay. He can hold his own. Still leaving supply in position to defend against the Oracles. Outside of that, though. Looking solid. MaxPax poking in, pulling back the Oracles, getting his third base up and running, getting it fully saturated. MaxPax does have a hefty worker advantage over his opponent. But I believe, yeah, NightMare still has a Stalker advantage. Takes out the Oracle. Oof. It is overwhelmed. Yeah, little Stalkers for NightMare. Sorry, yeah, for NightMare, they're in the main. Trying to keep up with the Oracle. Oracle is forced back. The armies do clash. Still very close between NightMare and MaxPax. Again, MaxPax will have that upgrade advantage. Charge on the way as well. As we are still building up. In general, a relatively passive kind of game state here. We've seen some poking and prodding with Blink Stalkers, but no big engage, no big commitment. Just posturing more than anything. MaxPax pushing up a ramp into a concave. That's not going to work out well for him. Has to calm down. Pulls away. Still waiting for more reinforcements. Or he does try again. Pushing on the left, catching a Stalker. So much hits to the face. NightMare does have the Stalker advantage. At the same time, Oracle does hit the natural, and NightMare not quite in position. Probes are going down. Oh my god, it's going to be 8 probes falling at the same time. Likewise, we had Adepts here shading in towards that natural, towards the center base. Stasis goes off, massive connection. And MaxPax, this might just be the moment he was waiting for. Does stasis most of those Stalkers, can keep pushing. trying to hold on. Overcharge gets popped. And MaxPax is going to have to back off. Let's retreat. Trace against the Stalkers. NightMare still has a comparable army size. 26 Stalkers to 20 of MaxPax. Both players have +1. MaxPax rotating around. Skirting around the edge with that prism. He has potential. Going for a drop. Zealot drop into the main. Going for the Dark Shrine as well. NightMare not quite ready. This does have some tight defense. Cannon shield batteries. There's the warp in. It does zone back to prism. So far so good. NightMare is holding on. Gas Geyser under fire. Oof. Gas Geyser goes down. Massive pickup. You know what? War Prism does unload here at the third base instead. It gets a pylon. So thank you, Setsuna. Yes, yes. This is the current patch, not the PTR. Again, PTR events are on the upcoming map pool, not the current map pool. So if you see maps like Crimson Quartz, like Amphion, like Dynasty, then at a glance you can recognize it is on the current patch. Stalkers, they do try to bypass NightMare. They attempt to. So far there's the overcharge. You could argue a little bit premature here from NightMare. It is premature. MaxPax rotating. Now he doesn't have to worry about the overcharge. Doesn't have to. Takes the supply lead. And again, MaxPax's economy has been untouched behind this. And that is reflected now in MaxPax's almost maxed out army. NightMare was keeping up for a while there until he lost his gas. Until he lost his gas geyser. Now he is struggling. Catches a couple of zealots. Let's go down. War Prism towards right hand side. So it's not an old version, it's current version. Current version. As a prism does warp in. Zealots and DTs here on the right hand side. NightMare does have detection, but no many zealots. There's the overcharge. The overcharge will help, but NightMare is being overwhelmed. Going for another warp in. Boys being pulled over. They're still trying to hold on. So not quite so easy. Gas Geyser goes down once again. Supplies are still quite close. DT getting more probes. MaxPax, he rotates, takes out a base. Nexus goes down. Nexus does full NightMare. He dives on the army. Takes a bit of trade. Takes down a lot of Stalkers. But MaxPax, he can just replenish his losses here. Does rebuild. Rotating back around, going for another Nexus, and he's just pulling NightMare apart. Again, NightMare was impressive. He was able to hold on and hold his own for so long in this game, but just lost his third, lost his fourth. He's got one base left. One base remaining. Outside of that, NightMare, it does feel like he's completely all in at this point. As he's losing another 7 probes. Probes he can't afford to lose. As he's distracted, center base goes down. That's a kill, not a cancel. Massive pickup. DC goes down. GG gets called as just too much, and MaxPax will take the series at 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. A bit of a more passive game here for the ace match, and we saw that NightMare was able to take it to MaxPax. For the most part, was able to keep up. But we saw that over time, MaxPax was able to deny the mining at the center gas geyser that led into MaxPax taking a larger army, and was able to just outposition and just pull NightMare apart. GG. GG, well played. With that, MaxPax will advance on, and we have our finals. It's going to be a TvP Grand Finals between MaxPax and Clem. Oh boy.